stream. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. We don't rest. Actually, I'm about to rest, so this video will not be long. But I want to give you guys some quick updates. Wow, the WBC got busy. Shout out to the WBC. They had their annual WBC convention. They usually pick a nice location. This time they were in Kiev, Ukraine, near where Lomachenko's from. And they made a lot of announcements, people. A lot. I want to go over the ones that interest me the most. Hopefully you guys relate. You guys seen the title. So they ordered a bunch of fights, as a sanctioning body. They ordered a bunch of fights. They said Triple G versus Jermall Charlo. Winner becomes mandatory for Canelo Alvarez, who beat Triple G in his last fight, thus becoming the WBC champion. They ordered Broner versus Jorge Linares. Winner would likely be in line to face Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is the WBC champion. They ordered Erislandy Lara versus Jrock Williams. Winner would be in line to face WBC champion Jermall Charlo at 154. I don't care if the music's too low. I'm about to go to bed. This is not a long stream. I'm just here to break the news. I'm not really worried about the music. The vampires. I'm going back to sleep. Actually, I haven't went to sleep because I'm a vampire. Now, I will say this. Before everyone gets super excited, just because these fights were ordered does not mean that they will actually happen. Because if you guys remember, Luis King Kong Ortiz, they ordered Dillian White versus Luis Ortiz, and we still haven't heard any updates about that. We haven't seen any progress with the fight. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That just because something gets ordered by the WBC, these fighters, their teams, their managers, their trainers, they're going to do whatever they want. But, in a perfect world, these are good fights. Like everything that the WBC ordered, right? They said Canelo can do a voluntary defense, which I reported days before this official announcement. I just, that's why you guys have to subscribe. I try to keep you guys plugged in and posted. So that was verified. They're going to allow Canelo Alvarez to fight a voluntary of his choice. They're talking about his doctor cleared him to fight in December. So if I had a guess, obviously I would say they're going to try to make David Lemieux. I'm not mad at that. But Canelo should fight his mandatory next year in May. Period. If he gets past David Lemieux, no questions asked. Cool. David Lemieux is not confirmed as a fight, but it's an easy fight to make. Golden Boy has showed interest in making the fight, so I do believe that that's something they could and would make for December if Canelo's coming back. I don't know about locations or anything, because HBO Boxing's getting out of the boxing business, but they said they would do one last hurrah with Canelo, because obviously Canelo's a money star, so they can make some money. But in my opinion, Canelo should just bounce. HBO's bouncing on boxing. Why give them another paycheck just because it's going to be easy? Find your home. See if you're going to Showtime, if you're going to ESPN, you're going to DAZN, or you're doing something else. But I wouldn't even be concerned with HBO Boxing. They're getting out the game. Why give them that last little paycheck, at your expense, when you could start, developing your new relationship and, trying to find your home for your next fight. So keep in mind, Like I said, just because these fights got ordered does not mean that the fighters or their teams are going to select these fights to be next. When it comes to Broner has showed a tendency to fight anybody. So I think Broner would fight Jorge Linares. I mean, he got stopped by Lomachenko at 35, brand new at 140. So, I mean, unless you guys can tell me who Broner avoided, you know, he called out Floyd Mayweather. He called out Lucas Matisse. He said he'll fight Pacquiao if the money's right, you know, like as long as you don't shortchange him. He fought Maidana his second fight at welterweight. He fought Paulie when he was a champion. He fought Sean Porter at a catchweight, former champion. You know, he was down to fight Omar Figueroa. Figueroa pulled out with an injury. He fought Adrian Granados, a guy he sparred with. That's always a difficult fight for guys that he faces. You know what I'm saying? So Broner showed a history. He's down to chunk him. He's down to fight whoever. You know, moved up all these weight classes. So that does sound like something that could happen, to be honest. Linares is new. You know, Broner would probably like his chances, his team, you know. So if they can get that cracking, if Golden Boy wants to work with Heyman, you know. And the good thing is when these fights get ordered by a sanctioning body, it kind of forces the promoters, because Linares he was ordered to fight somebody else, I think with the WBC, but he opted not to. So again, they don't have to do it. But, I mean, you could lose your positioning, your ranking, if you don't. So, just like Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders, the WBO ordered that, and they put it together, you know, because if WBO champion Billy Joe Saunders said no to the fight, then he could get stripped, just like Golovkin got stripped for not fighting his mandatory Sergey Derevyanchenko. So the IBF said, give me that, and yanked the belt. So, you know, I like the WBC doing this. You know, Broner, Linares, that seems like it could grow some legs, especially with Golden Boy. We don't know where they're taking their fighters. You know, I think they have some kind of deal with ESPN. I don't know if it's still under contract or how many more fights they have to fulfill that. But with HBO boxing getting out, you know, this seems like stuff that could happen. Linares versus Broner. Julian Jrock Williams versus Erislandy Lara. That's another fight that piques my interest. Winner gets Jermall Charlo. You know, winner would be mandatory, basically. That's a great fight. You know, Erislandy Lara recently lost. He lost his first fight, you know, where it was like, you know, people were okay with it. His other losses to Canelo and Paul Williams were controversial. Lara lost to Hurd. And then Jrock lost to Jermall Charlo, you know. So that'll be a great redemption fight for Julian Jrock Williams to show he's back. If he could beat Erislandy Lara, and Erislandy Lara, if he could beat Jrock, then fight a... I don't know if he sparred Jermall as much or if he was mostly sparring Jermall, but they're old stablemate / sparring partners. So Lara versus Jermall, that would be a dope fight. You know, so many ways you can do this. But I like Jrock versus Erislandy Lara. I think that's a good fight. Now, Gennady, hey, no, guys, right? Versus Jermall Charlo. That's what I want to see. I've been telling you that. I've been telling you I want to see that fight. So, to me, right now, it's put up or shut up time. You know? Put up or shut up time for Triple G. This is going to prove, because in my opinion, a lot of what his team has said for the last, you know, since he made his American HBO debut, a lot of it hasn't shown to be true, you know, in terms of statements, bold statements. From 54 to 68, yet they have yet to fight anyone at 54 or 68. Had opportunities to fight Andre Ward, and they didn't fight him. But they were open to fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. or Carl Froch. These are factual statements. They only wanted to fight Lil Floyd at 54 or Pacquiao, but they wouldn't come down to 55 to fight Canelo. Canelo was going to give you a pound. He said after he beat Cotto, he said he'll fight you at 55. They didn't want no parts of it. They didn't want to fight Vanes Matarosen at 50, at 54. They drug him up, So that wasn't a truthful statement. They said, hey, we're not gonna go up and fight guys like Andre Ward because we're about the belts. We want to be undisputed in the division and we want to unify for middleweight history. That was proven to be false because instead of fighting who you were supposed to when the Canelo fight fell apart, you end up fighting Vanes Matarosen. And then they said, okay, we'll give you an exception. Canelo messed up, failed the drug test, so the fight didn't get canceled because of you. So we'll give you an exception. But after that, you have to fight Derevyanchenko. He said, okay. Knocked out Vanes Matarosen. No intent to negotiate with Sergey Derevyanchenko. So they said, you know what? You chasing the money fight with Canelo, that's cool. We about to strip you. And they did that. Now Daniel Jacobs and Sergey Derevyanchenko are fighting for that belt on HBO's possibly their last fight in boxing. Told you guys for the longest, new media, yet again, the walls are closing in on Triple G. Don't use his age. Oh, he's 36 because Mayweather was like a year or two older than that, and he dominated Canelo, who was bigger, supposed to be stronger, power puncher, smart boxer, beat Shane Mosley, beat Carlos Baldomir, Mayweather was older, and he did that. So it has nothing to do with that. So once again, new media. Let's see if Triple G accepts this. If he accepts Charlo, I give him full credit. If he says, okay, hey, no, big drama show, Mexican style and all that, and he fights Charlo, great. What do you mean no word on Stevenson? Adonis Stevenson already has his next fight. He's fighting the day of the Wilder Fury fight against his mandatory, Alexander Vodstik, who's an undefeated fighter and friend of Lomachenko. So that was already established. You guys, listen, you guys got to subscribe to the channel. I talked about all of this, So that's what's happening with Adonis Stevenson, but that wasn't part of this convention. That was already revealed before this convention. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what Triple G decides to do. Like I said, the room's getting small. The walls are closing in to see what he is really about. Because, in my opinion, he had manager issues. He was fighting a bunch of guys in Germany and stuff that nobody knew. And then he wanted the top fights with Cotto, Sergio Martinez, and give you that. But then he couldn't get them, so he started fighting in a middleweight division that wasn't really like popping at the time. Saying, hey, I want big drama show, I want to unify, all these things. Now the playground's filled out. You got a guy who just beat you in Canelo. You got Demetrius Andrade, who's maybe going to fight Billy Joe Saunders, depending on the outcome of his drug test thing. You got Billy Joe Saunders as of right now, unless he gets stripped or something. You got Daniel Jacobs, who already gave you a tough fight, getting ready to fight his fourth undefeated fighter in a row. And if he wins, that'll be the fourth fighter, in my opinion, that Jacobs has beaten. Because I thought Jacobs beat Triple G. They just didn't give it to him. So if Triple G, if he decides to retire or move up to 168 at a time like this, then that's going to speak volumes. Because now that the division is popping, why would you make a decision to retire? I know Triple G wants the Canelo fight rematch, but, Jermall Charlo, he did everything the WBC asked him, and this is one last step for both of you guys to get Canelo or put the pressure on Canelo and become his mandatory. Because if Canelo doesn't fight the winner of Triple G versus Charlo, if they were to fight, then it's going to look real bad, because this will be the second time in the last 5 years or so where Canelo has vacated a belt. So it's cracking, man. It's cracking. If Triple G retires or moves up or fights anyone next next that's not Charlo, that's going to tell you. So I hope Canelo fights David Lemieux or whoever he's going to fight. And then I hope Triple G doesn't wait around for Canelo. You already got 2 mega paydays from it. They were good fights. Like I said, new media, I've been keeping it transparent. I don't care about seeing the immediate rematch. I don't have to see the immediate trilogy. I told you guys everything I said. I predicted. I said, let's see them fight guys in between. Let's do a hot seat. No, Hamza, I got him. He says, you are a fucking Triple G hater ego. All right, so I'm not the WBC. This is what they ordered. So you let me know in the hot seat. You have one response. What did I say to hate on Triple G? You have one response. Ali Cola Baz, whatever your name is. So let's hear it. We're waiting. What did I say to hate on Triple G? I didn't order him to fight Charlo. The WBC did. So how do I get blamed for this? I'm just giving you my opinion on the current news. So you tell me how I hated on Triple G. You have 15 seconds. You said Jacobs beat him. How the fuck is that hating? I was at the fight. I thought he beat him. Get this bum out of here. Another bum. Another bum bites the dust. So I'm a hater because I thought in a close fight somebody was capable of beating Triple G. Like, really? That makes me a hater when I was there at the fight in New York, in Madison Square Garden. And I know, so just so you guys know, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Jr., Canelo, Joey Spencer, I believe Peter Quillen, I talked to him too. There's a ton of people that thought Jacobs won, edged it out. So how does that make me a hater? Moving on. They're only here to cause distractions. You see it. But this is great news for boxing. I mean, everything the WBC said, they're really good fights, So let's see. Let's see what Triple G decides to do. Like I said, if he fights Charlo, I'll give him full props because this is good for not only Triple G, so he could prove, one last step, defeat a young, hungry lion, the Canelo fight grows, That proves that it makes the trilogy bigger. Let's say Canelo fights Lemieux and beats him. Triple G fights Charlo. If he can beat him, then the Canelo trilogy is a bigger fight. Good thing for Charlo is this. Charlo's undefeated. Golovkin, he has one loss, but it wasn't like he got knocked down and anything like that. He didn't get knocked out in his loss. It wasn't like a Kovalev lost to Ward in the rematch or to Eliter Alvarez. So if Charlo fights him, Golovkin's still a respected guy, respected name, right? So a lot of people complain, who is Charlo really beat? Then we should all respect him if he beats Triple G, since Triple G, he wasn't just getting knocked upside the head and, stopped or anything in his loss. Shout out to Peter, $2 super chat. Eagles Army, early morning stream from me. Shout out to New York, I see y'all. Shout out to Joe Johnson, $5 super chat. I see y'all. Appreciate you guys. It says Triple G is caught in a rock in a hard place. He better be watching Captain Planet Ego. Yeah, we're gonna see. Like I said, this is the boys to men. This is gonna separate the boys from the men, because that's a tough fight, good fight for both. Charlo has showed respect to Triple G. Says he's nice with it, and once again, this is what I love about new media. All we do is wait. I say my opinion, we wait, and then the rest usually works itself out. So just remember this. New media, I told you I thought Canelo won a close fight. I didn't even think it was as close as some of you guys, but I thought Canelo won versus Triple G. There's a lot of people in old media, and they were bringing up all the list of people that press row that had Triple G winning. So he has no reason for a tune-up, because you motherfuckers said he beat Canelo. Canelo paid for judges, and he cheated, and Oscar paid for this, and it was just because of the state of New York. So now there's no reason for Triple G to take a soft touch to make sure things are right, because some of you guys said that he was robbed. It was a robbery. Paulie Malignaggi, all y'all said it was a robbery. Okay, so this is a great chance for a guy that you believe got robbed to redeem himself, because you screaming robbery doesn't get his belts back, and it doesn't take the blemish off his record. So a great consolation prize would be to beat a young, hungry lion like Jermall Charlo, which would increase the value of a Canelo trilogy fight. So, and then this is the other thing, old media, a lot of them that I see, they say the same talking points. So they'll say stuff like, oh man, look at Charlo. He fought a guy with a bum leg, Jorge Sebastian Highland. Oh my gosh, he just beat Hugo Centeno. He had been stopped before. Okay, great. So now you should really be pushing for the Triple G fight with Charlo, because that will be his biggest test to date. You said Triple G was robbed, so technically, in your view, he's not coming off of a loss. So he doesn't need a tune-up. He shouldn't, because you said he was robbed, and he really beat Canelo 2 times. Cool. You said Jermall Charlo doesn't have the resume. Great. Triple G's coming off a respectable loss where he didn't get knocked down or knocked out. Then that would be the resume name. If he can beat Triple G, that's going to be the perfect resume name for him, right? And then he deserves a Canelo shot. So you say, so it works for everybody, right? This is perfect. This is perfect. Triple G shouldn't need no tune-ups. He shouldn't need none of that. Great fight. I can't wait to see it. We'll see what Triple G decides to do. And like I said, I didn't need an immediate Triple G Canelo trilogy, you know. And Triple G, his team has been on record saying things like Canelo, criticized Canelo when he took certain fights like Khan or whatever, criticized Mayweather when he fought McGregor, said, hey, no, these guys are clowns and businessmen and stuff. So let's see if Triple G chases them to try to get a money fight with Canelo. Let's see if he leaves the division. Let's see if he fights Jermall Charlo, you know? So that's it. Like I said, I'm not going to keep the stream too long. Do you guys have any questions before I get out of here? I'm about to rest up. Vampires need a little bit of rest. The vampire stream. Anybody have any questions on my thoughts? What's going on before I get out of here? Like I said, shout out to old media. Didn't want to have to do this, but y'all made me. Now Triple G has no reason not to fight Charlo. You know, I know in the past to DBN, Abel Sanchez said something like, oh, Charlo, he doesn't deserve it or whatever. Well, the WBC says he deserves it. You know, and if you want a Canelo rematch, they're saying to become a mandatory for Canelo, you got to get past this guy. So are they going to do him like Luis King Kong Ortiz and Dillian White? Because WBC ordered that too. And Dillian White's looking at, you know, possible Joshua rematch, looking at a Derek Chisora rematch, but he's not looking at a fresh first fight with Luis King Kong Ortiz. Or at least I haven't heard of anything. So we'll see what Triple G, what he decides. No, the fight's not official. It got ordered. So in my opinion, it's great that the WBC ordered it, because it's a great fight. We need to see Charlo in there with a suitable name, and if he could beat a guy like Triple G, who only has one loss, and you know, on paper, I thought he lost to Jacobs too, but on paper he only has one loss, and it was a respectable loss that a lot of people thought were close, and some people even said it was a robbery. So you know, that'll be a resume name that he needs, and then if he'll become the mandatory for Canelo, which is the big money fight everyone probably in the division wants. So that'll give him kind of a gateway to that. Same thing for Triple G. You want a trilogy fight, you know, fight this young, hungry lion, which we haven't seen you fight except for Canelo and Jacobs, and those fights were controversial, you know, the outcomes. So if you beat Charlo fair and square, then you right back on the map, and then, you know, you get to double dip. get a good size paycheck with Charlo, because I think that'll be a fan friendly fight. Two guys you're with the jab. Charlo probably a bit bigger and taller. You know, and then you beat him convincingly. That's a great resume name. You took his O. If you can beat him, and then you fight Canelo, and because you'll be the mandatory, or Canelo's gonna, vacate the belt. He already fought you twice, so I don't see why Canelo would even if you beat Charlo, I don't see why he would vacate the belt. He already vacated to you. That would look horrible on Canelo's behalf. WBC puts another obstacle in front of Jermall Charlo. Yeah, but I don't look at it like that. Like, because, I think it builds for whoever to get Canelo. That I don't think it's unreasonable at all. I disagree with that, because Canelo just came off of 2 tough fights with Triple G. He's doing a coming back promptly. He's doing a voluntary defense against a puncher. I'm not mad at that. But he needs to fight the winner of this fight, if they fight, in 2019 for sure. I'm not listen. You're saying it as an obstacle, but Canelo's the money fight. Canelo's the money fight that everyone wants. So this will be for who deserves it. It's just like Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. They both wanted to rematch Keith Thurman, so they fought each other. Sean Porter won, so now he's the one that him and Sean Porter got ordered too at the WBC convention. So I don't mind stuff like that, because while Keith Thurman's recovering, while Canelo's taking a prompt voluntary defense or whatever, let Charlo and Triple G hash it out. It'll be good for both of us, and then that'll show the winner definitely deserves a money fight, a big money fight with Canelo. Be it if Triple G wins his 3rd big money fight with Canelo, or for Charlo, if he can beat Triple G, then his 1st big money fight. So I'm not mad. This is the same dude, Abdul. That has to be the same dude we already blocked. Listen, everything I said was reasonable. He just keeps saying, fuck you, you're a Triple G hater. What am I hating on? You see, this what I tell you, fear makes people do a lot of crazy things. These dudes is fearful because they know the walls are closing in. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all keep trying to come for me. Y'all are fearful. All that shit you talked, and now shit's getting real. The options are getting scarce. You're going to have to, like I said, put up or shut up. That's the reality of it. But this is anyone. Like, how come when Andre Ward, you see how panicked that dude is? He's like, fuck you, you're a Triple G. I'm not hating on anything. Did you ever hear me say that Mayweather shouldn't fight Pacquiao? Did you ever hear me say that Wilder or Joshua shouldn't fight each other? Or Wilder shouldn't fight Tyson Fury? Have you ever heard me say that Andre Ward shouldn't move up and fight Kovalev? Never. You never heard me say Gary Russell shouldn't fight Leo Santa Cruz, which is another fight that got ordered. The WBC is getting busy, so we know what it is. I don't cock block or get in the way of big fight. I'll give anybody $1,500 right now. You produce an original video from me where I said that Keith Thurman shouldn't fight Errol Spence. Vice versa. Made excuses. So these dudes know they full of shit. I don't get in the way of big fights, meaningful fights, fights that grow the sport of boxing. Never have, never will. Triple G Charlo is a good fight. The world knows it's a good fight. But old media, if anything, they're the only ones that are mad. No, Triple G should go to Japan and fight Ryan Murata. No, he shouldn't. He should fight the guy the WBC ordered. It's a bigger fight. I don't give a shit about Ryan Murata's fan base in Japan. He can fight him later. You want to fight Canelo in a trilogy Canelo has the WBC belt. The WBC is telling you to fight Charlo to get that trilogy to become a mandatory. So why would you go fight Ryan Murata in Japan? You know what I'm saying? These dudes is scared. I'm telling you, it's fear. These dudes is fearful. Hey, this dude is a stalker. This is the same dude over and over. Listen, don't let them cause distractions. Okay, here, let's do a vote. Is Gennady Golovkin versus Jermall Charlo, which the WBC ordered at their latest convention, is it a good fight and a meaningful fight? Winner gets Canelo. Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section. We have over 200 people in here. Smash the like button and you guys vote. Since I'm the hater, is it a good fight? Ray Sean Smith, $5 super chat. Ego, my brother. Triple G man fans are the same. Are the same as AJ fans. They coming up with nothing but excuses not to fight top competition. Shout out to Fury and Wilder. See, I'm a hater, but you guys are all agreeing that it's a good fight. These are just boxing fans. I didn't tell people what to say. So we know it's you. Shout out to Ray Sean. You're 100% right. See how I get called names for reporting what the WBC said and giving my thoughts on it, which was reasonable. I looked at all angles. I said, if Triple G wins, then that's a scalp that, you know, puts him right back there to get a Canelo trilogy. I like that. Charlo is tough. He's undefeated. Good jab. He's been looking like a monster. That's a great scalp if Triple G can beat him. But then I've also told you if Jermall Charlo beats him, you guys, a lot of you guys, old media motherfuckers, you say, oh yeah, they keep screaming Lions only, but they don't have nobody on their resume. Even though he's fought Canine Bundridge and stopped him as a champion, we had more mad experience. He was like 40 with a lot of experience, power, beat up on Carlos Molina, who's awkward and hard to look good against. Even though he beat Julian Jrock, they still say Charlo ain't fought nobody. So cool. Triple G is a somebody. Let's see it. LSI. And the only people who are mad are part-time boxing fans, aka the man fans, who have some hidden agenda to try to protect. Who doesn't want to see a good fight? You know, I didn't get one fight prediction. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's the same dude. Block Ahmed. He said Triple G will beat Charlo easy, and this time knock out Canelo. Let's see it. There's nothing. Just block Ahmed. It's the same dude over and over and over. They're trying to taint up the comment section and make you guys. But first he said I was biased, but then look at his comments. Super one-sided, no explanation. Just Triple G is gonna destroy Charlo. You know, type of attitude. This is what you guys get from old media versus me. Nothing else needs to be said. You guys have a great and glorious day. Let's see it. Triple G, we're counting on you. Hopefully you fight Jermall Charlo like the WBC wants, and you don't leave him waiting like the Dillian White situation with Luis Ortiz. You know, these are all good fights. The winner is more than worthy to fight Canelo. And then Canelo, the same pressure new media is applying for Triple G and Charlo to take this fight with each other. That's the same pressure that Canelo will have in 2019 if this fight goes down next. That's the same pressure he'll have to fight the winner. This is how boxing should run, people. And I'm out. Hope you guys have a good day. Make sure you smash the like button. I did a video on that fight, particularly Broner Linares. Let's see it. Triple G versus Charlo at 160. Winner becomes mandatory for Canelo. Let's see it. Right? I'm with it, you know. They also said Anthony Durrell versus Yildirim, who got knocked out by Chris Eubank. But I guess they ranked Chris Eubank behind Yildirim because of some personal, like, I don't know. I guess he shitted on the WBC in some capacity. You are freaking boxing. Thank you, guys. Bronzer is not even worthy of fighting Linares. We don't care what you're talking about because the WBC is the one that appointed him. So why do I care about a random YouTuber saying he's not worthy of fighting him? It makes no sense. You're saying Broner's not worthy of fighting a guy who's one fight removed from being stopped. How stupid does that sound? Lomachenko stopped Linares in a good fight at 135. Linares moved up and fought Abner Cotto at 140. And you're telling me that Broner doesn't deserve an opportunity? Really? Broner's done more at 140 than Linares. Linares has one fight at 140. Step your boxing knowledge up, please. You said it. You talking about Broner ain't worthy. See, this is what you guys get from like old media and its disciples. They don't really talk boxing. Broner's done more at 140 plus than Linares, period. Linares is one fight removed. He's one fight. Broner is a bum, though. Again, old media talking points. Yeah, he's a bum. Why isn't nobody stopped him? Why didn't strong-ass Maidana stop him? Strong-ass Sean Porter stop him? If he's a bum. Why didn't Jesse Vargas, who's fighting this week, and nobody's talking about his fight because Eddie Hearn put it on the same day as Conor McGregor's fight? Why didn't Jesse Vargas stop him? You know? But anyway, I'll let you guys argue in the comment section. Hopefully we get that Gennady Golovkin since he wanted Mexican style. Please, I hope we get a Mexican style with Jermall Charlo, which was ordered for the WBC, and I hope the winner of that fight gets Canelo, you know? So we'll see what Abel Sanchez has to say to rebuttal, and we'll see what Triple G. He said big drama show. He said he's Mexican style still, and he also said I did not lose to Canelo, so there's no reason not to, you know, take meaningful fights to get the trilogy with Canelo. Shout out to Tom, $2 super chat. Should Wilder put his weight back on? It's up to him. You know, really depends on how he feels. If he feels good at the lighter weights, because I think he was sick his last fight, so that's why he came in at 215. So it just depends on how he felt in there. You know, he wants to still be elusive, so I wouldn't gain too much weight. I think his career high was the Eric Molina fight. I think he was like weighing like 227, so probably just find something in the middle at 223, 224, you know, 221. He'll be cool. You guys have a good day. Everyone have a blessed day. Let's see what Triple G does. Let's see if he fights Jermall Charlo. Shout out to the WBC for ordering that. You know, some very good announcements. Broner, Linares, I liked all the announcements. Make sure you guys have a good day. New media. I'll be up with y'all later. Peace out. Smash the like button.